Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to compliment you guys. Beacon is beautiful. Honestly, I'm in. Before I sign the contract, though, I gotta know, who did we take out to get this? This place is too nice. Who did Sir Beacon eliminate? This is a blessing. I'm happy to be here. Funny story is Drew. I emailed Drew about 2 years ago to be on this show, and he just got back to me about a month ago to be on the show. Yeah. But I'm happy. It taught me a lesson. Sometimes blessings in life, they're not on my timing. They're not on my zodiac sign's timing. Sometimes you're just waiting for a white man named Drew to say yes. Quick round of not round of applause. Make some noise if you believe in ghosts. Spiritual ghosts. Okay. Cool. Just wanted to know what I'm working with. I don't believe in ghosts at all. But if you tell me that I'm in a room that's haunted by ghosts, I'm terrified out of my mind. Oh, didn't want to hear that. So I recently went on a trip to Alaska for a show. The company flew me out there, and it's a beautiful place. And I ended up staying at the historic Anchorage Hotel, which is one of the most haunted hotels in Alaska, also in the country. And I found all of this out after I checked in, which is probably the best time to learn of that news. The lady told me a bunch of stuff, and I remember reading the reviews on Google, and nothing was too scary for me. It didn't seem, honestly, respectfully Beacon, I thought it was just white people being white people. It's Alaska. I wasn't worried about it. So I went to sleep that night, and the next day we went out, and we came back from dinner, and me and the performers, we were in the lobby, and this manager on duty, her name was Terry, she walked out, and she said, "Hey, do you guys want to see something?" I said, "Terry, no." We're good, Terry. The people that I was with, though, they were interested, so they said, "Let's see it." She said, "I have a journal that has all the ghost recordings and all the notations of ghost encounters for this hotel since its inception." And then she said, "Do you guys want to see it?" I said, "Terry, I've already said it. No. Get away from us." My friends, they wanted to look at it, and so they start reading it, and I step away. I put my AirPods in, and I start listening to music. I want nothing to do with this. And my friend Brian, he's reading the journal, and then he looks at me, and he's like, "Esmond, what room are you in?" I said, "I'm in 213. He said, "Hey, man, don't read this journal while you're here." I was like, "Brian, what the hell? What the hell?" He got up, and he walked away. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Have a good night." It was in that moment that I became afraid of ghosts, terrified of them. I didn't know what was in my room, but I knew that there was something in my room because Brian was scared. I took the slowest walk to the room, and I get there, and I'm at the door, and I made a decision that I was gonna beat these ghosts' ass. I walk in my room, and I turn all the lights on, okay? In all the movies that I've watched, ghosts, they're lurking in the dark, so I'm turning all the lights on. Bathroom, living room, all of that. The second thing that I did, which you guys are gonna judge me on, but I think that this was the best idea that I could have done. I turned the TV on, and I put it on Food Network, okay? My belief is that ghosts, they can't eat real food. So if they see Martha Stewart, Paula Deen cooking up some good meals, they're gonna get sad and not wanna bother me. So I put the Food Network on, and I sit in the bed. All my stuff is on the bed. Nothing's touching the ground. And I just stayed locked in on the TV the whole night. Fell asleep sitting up. And the next day, we have the rehearsal. And one of the performers ended up backing out last minute, and so they had to fly someone in to perform. And the person that they chose was a guy named Alistair Bain. Now, Alistair goes around the country talking to people about ghosts. He tells stories about his friends that are ghosts. He sees them. He speaks to them. That's his whole thing. Everyone is so excited for him to get to the hotel and confirm if this hotel is actually haunted. I was hoping that Alistair was on one of those Southwest planes, the ones where the door flies off. Not because I wanted him to die, I just didn't want him to get there. But he gets there, and we're all waiting downstairs, and Alistair comes down, and everyone looks at him, and they're like, Alistair, is this place haunted? And he looks at us and holds for about 10 seconds, and he says, they're everywhere. Said there was some in my room. There was 3 of them in my room, and I asked them to calm down and so that I could take a nap. And I immediately was unwell. The thing that Alistair said that you have to do is that you have to acknowledge the ghosts. They want to know that you see them. If not, they're going to get wild, and they're going to start messing with stuff. And you can't say no to them. You just have to acknowledge them. I said, Alistair, those ghosts sound like men. I mean, I'm a man. You say no to me, I'm going to get rude too. So I get it. I didn't sleep that night, honestly. I stayed up, and I remember I felt really bad because the next day was the show. And we get to the green room, and we're all hanging out there, and then the host of the show, her name is Dasha Kelly Hamilton. She's a black lady that lives in Anchorage, Alaska. And she walks in, and I'm like, yes, finally a black person. Okay? Typically, when minorities see a bunch of crazy things happening, we kind of look at each other and we have this internal nod. Like, you see this? We agree that this is crazy. So I see her, and she's asking all of the performers a question before they bring us on stage. And she wants to know. And the question is, what's something that the audience wouldn't know about you? And she comes up to me, and she's like, Esmond, what's something that the audience would know about you? I said, Dasha, I'm terrified of ghosts. And she looked at me, and she said, you never dealt with ghosts before? And I said, Dasha, I'm from the South, so I dealt with the Holy Ghost. But she didn't laugh at that. She looked me dead in the face, and she said, oh, well, the ghosts out here are different. And she got up and walked away. And that confirmed everything to me. A black lady in Anchorage, Alaska just told me that ghosts are real. I was not okay. I did the show, it was fine. And after the show, we went out to a bar, and I stayed out till about 2 o'clock. I wanted to not go back to my hotel room. I felt like I spent the whole week slandering the ghosts, and they knew. And I felt like one of the ghosts was going to hit the ghost beacon, and all the ghosts were just going to rush to my room for my last night and just mess with me. They were going to run to my room like it was the Capitol on January 6th. And I was Mike Pence. I went back to the room, and I had all my stuff packed. My flight left at like 12 that day. The next day, I was ready to go at 5 in the morning. I just wanted to go to the airport early. And so I go downstairs, and Terry, she's downstairs, and she says, oh my gosh, Esmond, I'm so sorry. I was at the show last night. I didn't know you were scared of ghosts. And I said, Terry, you're never going to see me again. You're never. So let me read the journal. And she said, I thought you would never ask. And so she gives me the journal, and I start reading it, and it's some of the worst things that I've ever read in my life. I'm going to share something quickly with you guys. There was a man that was asleep, and at 2 a.m. he started hearing a bunch of kids running and like bumping up against the hallway and making a bunch of noise. So he went downstairs into the lobby and said, hey, there's some kids upstairs. I need you to like tell the parents to keep them down. I'm trying to sleep. I have a meeting tomorrow. And the manager on duty said, sir, you're the only one in the hotel tonight. Said, but some kids drowned in that bathtub, so their spirits like to play around at that time. They'll quiet down soon. I heard this, and the only thing that I could think in that moment was those had to be white children ghosts. Yeah, those had to be white kids. Because the black ghosts, they would have been under the bed by 9 p.m., okay? I ended up leaving, and I got in the Uber, and I was on the way to the airport, and I just remember a sense of relief just coming off of me. I was finally away from that place, and I got to the airport, and I just felt happy that I was away. And I thought about it, like, there's scientific evidence that proves that ghosts aren't real, but talking to people like Alistair and seeing the belief in his eyes and knowing how sweet he is and he believes in it, it's hard for me. Like, I don't know if I believe in ghosts at this point. But what I do know is that after that week in Anchorage, Alaska, I can make a mean creme brulee. And I owe that all to Martha Stewart. Thank you, guys.
Esmond Fountain, everybody.